Innovate your business with design thinking. We'll explore the power of design thinking for revolutionizing your business approach. We'll delve deeper into the captivating case study where the simple initiative was transformed into a multi-million-dollar venture through the strategic application of design thinking. Please welcome our esteemed speaker of this session, Ms. Juliana Go, CX Design Partner at Unigons Design Consultancy.
Thanks, Amy. Thank you. Okay, hi everyone. It's a bit running late. I hope you had your lunch. Let me just do a quick introduction of myself. Just a little bit background of myself. I'm actually a designer by trade. So I had the privilege of leading a few experienced design team in Samsung, IBM iX, and also KPMG. And today I'm actually the co-founder of Unigons that is running design thinking consultancy for our clients. Mainly as of now, one of my biggest clients is actually Bayer, the global pharmaceutical. So I'm going to show you today and also share with you some practical insights and practical tips on how you can actually leverage design thinkings for your projects as well. I'm actually very fortunate to be witnessing firsthand through my career to see how design thinking can transform businesses and drive innovations. So let's just move on. So looking in the crowd today, anybody know what's design thinking? Raise of hands. Okay, I can count. Very good. I guess it's a very interesting topic. Design thinking is not, say, just for designers. Design thinking is actually a way of thinking for anybody. So if you are a marketeer, if you are a IT, if you are a HR, it basically is industry agnostic. Everybody can apply design thinking. It's a mindset, basically. If you have heard of my earlier sessions, I'm talking about culture. So design thinking is actually one way to shift the mindset of the culture. If you were to do a Google, you will see a lot of diagrams. In fact, too many. And you may be confused with the type of design thinking. Are there different types of design thinking? Is it the same as the other one? This is called Double Diamond. Double Diamond is actually created by Design Council of UK. The reason why they created this is for problem solving and design. It's basically creating an easy to access structure for government bodies, for general public, and for businesses. So they wanted to connect all the different teams together. Next, you also get Stanford D School, that's Stanford Design School. They have these 5 hexagons, empathize, define, idea, prototype, and test. It's also design thinking. They basically wanted to have this approach for cross collaboration across the different disciplines in school. And next, IBM, that's where I came from. IBM design thinking. They call it the IBM loop. So IBM design thinking was created basically to foster a culture of innovation, learning, and agile development. So, IBM is all about software, product, and services and development. By cycling through, observing, reflecting, and making, it actually allows the team to have this continuous mindset of adapting the change to suit the evolving needs of the users. So that's the culture and mindset that IBM is trying to bring forth to the company. In a nutshell, design thinking is actually just about discover, define, design, develop, and deliver. It's just as simple as that. There are different phases, but every phase is actually very critical for creating effective user-centered design, because in that manner, you will create greater innovations as well. Of course, underpin this design thinking phases, there is also the guiding principles that we emphasize a lot. It's not just about you individually as a designer. It's not about you as a marketeer, but we really wanted to have deep focus on the users. So you need to know who are your users. We need to talk about facilitating cross collaborations, right? You need to get the IT team, you need to get the marketing teams, you need to get the business teams and your designers to be coming together to collaborate and co-create, okay? And of course, it's also about continuously testing and iterations. So this is actually the 3 guiding principles. By adhering to these principles, I'm sure your product or services will be suitable for your users, not just valuable, but it's also relevant for your users. I think that's very important for them. But I think in today's context, a lot of us, well, being designer myself, I've experienced that we focus a lot on executing of design. We focus a lot of, okay, I need to perfect my craft. I need to have the best aesthetic. I think that's very common for designers. And well, I guess for business as well, right? Because this is something that's go out into the market and everybody will be looking at it. And leaving very little time on the discovery phase, right? There's just not enough time spending on understanding who our users are. So what we should really be doing is really deep dive into discover, define. In fact, a group proportion of time, we are talking about a good 30, 50% before even going into your execution, before even going into a development stage. Because when you go into discovery phase, the very good thing is you get to discover the challenges that your users is facing because you now know who are your users. Within these challenges, you get to define what are the gaps in these challenges, right? And of course, within the gaps, you'll be able to identify the needs, the unmet needs that the users are looking for. And that's where opportunities arises because you will see a lot of opportunities. Next slide I'm gonna show you is, it's funny how every time when I actually run workshops with my clients, and the clients always make this statement, oh no, it's like we are reviewing a can of worms. But I wouldn't want to say it's reviewing a can of worms. Actually, you'd be very surprised that design thinking actually have a lot of unexpected surprises and unexpected challenges that you get surface up from your users. I rather see this as a can of opportunities, right? Because a lot of different opportunities will arise due to the number of challenges. It allows us to address the root cause of the challenges because you have multiple challenges. Ultimately, it's about solving the root cause. You don't really have to address all challenges. There is a tool in design thinking that we call effort impact prioritization matrix. That is where you are able to prioritize and align with your stakeholders, right? Okay. So in all these phases, right, discover, define, design, discover, develop, and deliver, there is a series of tools and resources that guide us in maintaining the user centricity, stakeholder management, and also co-creations. So there's really a lot of tools. But if you really were to ask me what is that one tool that you need to kickstart today, I would say is journey mapping. Journey mapping is actually one of a very powerful tool in design thinking. So what exactly is journey mapping? It actually allows you to visualize from a user perspective on how they actually interact with your brand, products, and services. So you know their journey, and through this journey, you are able to identify the touch points. Okay, what are touch points? Touch points are like your channels. So we are talking about omni-channels, right? So you really need to know what are the different touch points that your user are, interacting with. With these touch points, you're then able to identify their emotions. Whether is it a high or whether is it a low, are they happy or not? This is where your insights surface. This is where your opportunities and challenges are surfaced. And of course, we know the benefits of that, right? Once mapping into journey mapping, once you leverage journey mapping, you are able to optimize your marketing spend because you are already able to target your marketing segment for that reason. So I'm actually very mindful of time. I know we've got not much time, but I've got 3 use case success stories to talk about how these brands actually leverage design thinking. I will deep dive into KPMG because I really think that is a very interesting success story. But of course, I would like the audience to choose whether is it a DBS that is talking about a branch experience from a B2C perspective, or would you like to listen more on a workflow HR angle for buyer? DBS? Okay. We go to DBS then. DBS approached us, that was, I think it's about COVID time, or pre-COVID time actually, I must say. That was during my IBM days. DBS Treasure, so we are talking about DBS Treasure for Indonesia, Jakarta. The brief that the client came to us is, how can we ensure that DBS Treasure, the clients, have a better branch experience so that they can actually achieve a higher footfall? So the problem with the bank, the branches today is there isn't enough crowd. Nobody is going to the bank. And the bank wanted to say, hey, can you design a better branch or bank so that my customers can have a better experience? So before going into designing a better brand or branch, which is the design and development stage in design thinking, let's just go back to the discovery phase, okay? So, okay, let me just go back. What we did was we interviewed about 15 relationship managers and we interviewed about 15 treasure customers. Among all these insights that we got, we mapped the journey of these relationship managers and customers to identify what is their common behaviors, the common interactions with their customers. And this is what we found out. You can see from a relationship manager point of view, and you do notice, okay, the text may be a little bit small, but most of the time, the relationship manager is actually doing a lot of concierge services for the customers because DBS Treasure being prestige individuals, they travel a lot. And their expectation for the relationship manager is, okay, you got to help me arrange transportations. I'm flying to this place. Okay, you got to serve me. That's the mindset of the customers because they're DBS Treasure's customers. Not just that, because being Jakarta, and this is what we found out, they actually have to spend time to book, you call it courier services or dispatch, to actually send the documents for the client to be signing. The client don't come to you. You have to send to Clem, right? And because of all these side tracks and things like that, the relationship managers do not have any time doing his own research, do not have any time to do financial proposals. And the best things of all, I think there's no battery. Okay. The best thing of all is, as a DBS Treasure customers, they only visit the branch once a year for annual reviews, and that's about it, right? Because there's a hassle, the traffic is bad in Jakarta, they don't really travel to the bank. So do you think by designing a bank experience will help the client? Do you think by redesigning the bank experience will actually help the customers? No. So interestingly, we did a prioritization. I just want you to look at the right. This is the map that I told you, the tool that I'm telling you. It's an effort and impact prioritization. So the relationship managers, the IT, the businesses all come together and all voted that, hey, you need to solve my airport problem. I'm not going to spend so much time doing my airport concierge thing. I need help in preparing and sending documents. I just really need to do this, right? And with that, the needs that we discover from the user is, I actually hope for a self-help escort services for my clients that is simple so that I can increase my productivity time. So in the end, the ideation that we went into is they need an e-butler service. They need an AI, maybe a self-recommended product, financial product too, right? So this is something that really helps a relationship manager and also help the customer. So in this, the brand or redesigning the branch is not the brief at all. So we change the brief from the client perspective. So we use all this data that is backed up by our research or during the discovery phase and highlight back to the client about this otherwise. Okay, so that's one case study regards to leveraging design thinking. And I'm just going to jump to KPMG. Okay, we all know KPMG, right? But for this instance, we are talking about employer experience in the clubhouse context. This is a clubhouse. It's a physical space of about 5,000 square feet, huge clubhouse. Very oftenly, you know, the brief will be, can you get me the best cutting edge technology? You always receive that brief. Give me the best technology because I want to be featured on the news, right? I think every organization and every brand wants to be highlighted as so-and-so brand is using AI to do this. So-and-so brand is using AI to do that, right? True enough, we were highlighted and being marketed as the clubhouse that use latest tech for the staff, the clubhouse that is powered by AI, but behind every latest innovation, we leverage design thinking framework to guide us through the journey. Because without having to know the needs and the users, you will not be able to kind of like design the right experience for them. I'm going to walk you through the journey of the Clubhouse so that you'll be able to understand. But before that, I'll let you just play the video. Oh, sorry. Is it playing? So this is just a quick glance of how the Clubhouse is like, leveraging technology to enhance the experience of the employees. Let me just walking you through the journey, as I emphasized a lot on journey mapping. And this is how the journey mapping actually allow us to bring in the experience seamlessly as well. So from an entrance perspective, right? Typically, I think we all go to offices, you have your hands full of information, you have your pass. I think it's very common time to use your pass to access entrance. But how do you even access the Clubhouse if your hands are full? So that's the challenge, and that's what they wanted is, I wish that I can actually access the Clubhouse with my hands, even my hands are full. So that's where you have the solution, which is facial recognition, because that enables you to enter the Clubhouse with your hands free, right? Moving in, it's called be greeted as an employee or even any guest, right? You want to feel personalized. You want to feel that you've been treated and welcome at a venue. There's this huge 5 meter by 3 meter LED screen. There is facial recognition cameras all around. So they basically greet you. So for instance, I'm someone who loves coffee. I always come by the Clubhouse by 2 p.m. and they say, hey, Juliana, you know what, that is muffin at 30%, go grab a bite, right? So they know you by person, and that actually enhances experience as I step into the Clubhouse. But also, at the same time, we discover another problem with a Clubhouse manager or event manager. The event manager has this issue of, the events who is attending the Clubhouse, the events visitors who's attending the Clubhouse do not know where the venue is. So the old way of them, they kind of like pull out the standee and they put it outside the Clubhouse. There's poor lighting conditions. There is basically no one noticed that this is even an event place. The other challenge that the Clubhouse, the event manager is facing is, I need to find a designer to design my banner, right? So they have to scramble, they have to find resources, and oftentimes they just couldn't get someone to help them in designing the banner. So with the problems that we discover, that's where we create a solutions that enhance the experience for event manager. So what we did is we double out the 5 meter by 3 meters LED screen into a event banner itself. Behind the system, there is actually a CMS whereby the event manager is able to create using the templates that we created for them. So which means they do not need any design resources to do that. They can easily upload or create any text and put it into the calendar so that the event banner will be displayed accordingly. So that's how technology actually enhances experience after knowing the needs of the persona or the users that we talk to. Of course, as a marketing person in Clubhouse, I need to send, relevant marketing collaterals to say, okay, I noticed that someone is not attending, or financial team is not attending, or somebody, or like say my play zone is not responding well. So the Clubhouse is actually zoned out into different areas. There's coffee zones, there's grab and go zones, you saw that. There's chill for playing. And we are able to track and understand the behavior of the Clubhouse to see which is the area that needs more relevant, targeted marketing collaterals to be sent to the staff, right? let's go in, grab and pay. You saw that in the video. It's very quick, it's by RFID. We didn't do that because it's cutting edge technology. We did that because KPMG, we are talking about auditors. Auditors are constantly on the run. They are very busy. KPMG is actually located in a central business district area, so the cafes and restaurants are constantly packed. So the problem that they are facing is, hey, you know what? I need to really buy my food and go and to do my work. Grab and Go is conceptualized because of that, because to solve that user problem of their needs. And we quickly have this RFID technology to have that quick solution for them to actually grab and go. Last but not least, it's a very interesting one. We call it immersive experience. So talking about a space engagement, we are talking about engagement and retention. How do we ensure that your customers, your employees are returning back to the space? So we did interviews, again, discovery stage, as I said. We spoke to the people. So where do you go over the weekends? So what attracts you to a place? Responses like, oh, I love going to the cafes because of the ambience. Oh, I love going to the beach because of the ambience. Ambience becomes the key word. People love going to a place when it's fresh. People love going to a place when there is just interesting. We can't keep building a different clubhouse. So then the challenge that we give ourselves then, or rather the opportunity that we gave ourselves is, how do you then create an immersive experience for the staff to keep coming back and feel different? And that's where you use ceiling projection as a technology, as an enabler, right? So the ceiling projection is displayed according to weather API. If it's thunderstorm outside, I guess, no, it's not thunderstorm inside, but something a little bit more cheerful to matches your mood as well. So that creates a whole ambience feelings when they come interacting the clubhouse. So of course, overall journey engagement increases. As I mentioned, you have important brands that has really leveraged design thinking and really doing very well. Back to IBM, I think ever since they started design thinking with the whole culture and mindset shift, they gained a very astonishing 301% ROI in just 3 years, just because of understanding the users and designing a product that's relevant for them. My parting words or closing words for you is, I know in every single session that you're talking today, generative AI, predictive AI, I think AI is everywhere. But let's just take a step back, all right? Truly understand what the users needs and wants, and then use and harness the power of AI to enhance the experience, right? Just like you let technology serve the users and not the other way around. Just like what Steve Jobs has quoted, you may have seen this quote before. You got to start with customer experience, and then you work backwards to the technology, not thinking about technology first, right? So with that, I would like to say, adopt design thinking today, and I hope to hearing your success story. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Juliana, for very interesting sharing. Please remain on stage to receive the flower. Thank you from MMA.